Yay. Okay, guys, sorry about that. A new system. How exciting that is. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Helen Baker, and I'm going to give you a rundown of Facebook ads today. I don't know how many people I have on here, but before we start, I'm going to give you my cell number. I'm going out on a limb in case after this you've got other questions. You can text me your questions and I'll try to answer them or try to find who you might be able to talk to if I don't know the answer. So write my number down. It's 214-912-9052. Okay, when we start, I'm just going to kind of go over everything we're going to talk about today on Facebook ads so that hopefully if you've got questions, you'll realize that some of this is going to be addressed as we go through the process. Some of you may have done Facebook ads before, some of you may have not. So some of it may seem a little elementary to some of you. The first thing we're going to talk about is what you have to have available to you prior to starting to do Facebook ads. We're going to create a listing ad. I'm going to show you other options of other ads, how to duplicate an ad and why you might want to do that, what happens when leads come in, how you find them, what your options are to do with them, and also options on how should I market to those leads, what can you do next within our system. Because there are other things you can do within Command after you create your ad and you start getting leads. So I hope that I'll be able to share a little bit of that with you. And also how to review your data, where you go to see how many people are responding to your ad, what your ad is costing you per click, all of those type of things. And also how to continue running an ad, or if you have an ad that is not giving you the results you want, how to discontinue an ad. And that all of those are important aspects in the Facebook marketing strategy. And in my opinion, the Facebook ads, it is a strategy. It's a numbers game, it's a strategy, and you have to stick with it. And I look at it as it's a great way to build your database and to nurture those people moving forward. I've been running these ads since about the first of the year consistently. First, I started through Facebook directly, and then once Command was up and running efficiently, I switched over to where now all my ads are being run through Command. The benefit of doing that, if some of you are wondering why would I want to do it through Command versus through Facebook directly, the biggest thing is your leads automatically go into your database. That's the number one thing that will save you a tremendous amount of time, and you can then apply smart plans to those leads. Okay, so let's get started. I've got my screen up here, and if everyone will go to campaigns. Where are my campaigns? There we go. Please tell me this is going to work. Hang with me, guys. Okay. A few things that you need to have, in my opinion, which will make your life easier, starting out with your Facebook ads. You need to make sure you have a business Facebook page. You cannot run Facebook ads without a Facebook business page. You also have to set up your payment plan within Command for your billing. And in order to do that, you just go to, I'm going to show you exactly where you go in case you don't know how to set that up. You go to paid ads, and right over here, I'm hovering over it, you'll see payments, and you can add your payment method. So at any point in time, you can go in here and manage this, change which card you're using, your card expires. This is where you would go to make those corrections. I don't want anybody to go through the whole process of putting together an ad and then it doesn't run because you don't have your billing information in there. So that's number two. A lesson I learned the hard way was make sure the photos that you're going to want to use, if it's not an active listing, is saved within your photos or on your desktop or somewhere where you can get to them, because it's a real pain to have to go completely out of command, go figure out what photo you want to use, make sure you know where it is, and then come back in and do the ad. So that's just a little time saver tip I'll give you, and I'll try to give you some of my lessons I've learned along the way, and that is one of them. Okay, so everybody knows how to do the basics there. So now we're going to go into actually doing a campaign, a Facebook social campaign. So within, I'm going to go back to the beginning here. Bear with me, it's slow and I don't know why. Okay, up at the top, you've got your dashboard and paid ads. Paid ads is what we're going to go to. If you were wanting to just do a social post and to your page, you would use social post, but because we're doing a paid ad, you click here. And of course, all this is hiding where I need to be. I got it over. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do, guys, is go up here and hit create new ad. Now on this screen, you'll see you have several options, and we're going to pick, and you see down here, social ad paid. We're going to click that. One of the most important things you're going to do in a social ad campaign is name your campaign. And this will make a lot more sense later on, but keep in mind, when you get a lead, it's going to be important that you know what ad that lead came from. So the way you title it and name it is going to matter. So I try to always do, if it's a listing, you know, you can use the listing address. If it's more a creative ad, which I'll show you some of those later, let's just say you're promoting people who might be interested in buying a home on a golf course lot. So then I might say golf course lot Richardson or golf course lot Plano. So when someone hits that ad, I know that they are responding either on a Plano ad or a Richardson ad. So hopefully that kind of clarifies that. So I'm going to call this one, we're going to do a listing ad first, okay? So I'm going to name this one a listing, and I'm going to name it 12348 space River Hill. And it's going to be in Frisco. Okay, and this is a listing ad. Okay. Now, this is what you're going to want to highlight if you're using one of your listings or a co-agent's listing or one of the office listings, and you want to use the photos out of MLS. You don't have a specific photo. The next section down here is selecting where you want your ad to run. I will tell you, I've tested it and ran Facebook and Instagram, and the analytics will determine where that goes out to, how much is going to go into Facebook and how much is going into Instagram. We have no control over that, but I get better lead response if I do Facebook. I've not gotten anything viable off of Instagram. So I no longer do both since I tested it, and I'll do Facebook only. And you'll see as we get further into this, testing is a word you're going to want to remember, because you're going to try different ads with different components, different photos, different targeting, different verbiage to find out what works, where you get the best response. Okay, so now hit set up campaign. Okay, if you're using an existing listing, this is what will show up. And you're going to go in and pick the listing you want to use. So I'm going to go back in here and put the one I labeled it as, which is River Hill. Then you go over here and you hit search. No records found. Oh, okay, good lesson here. The reason this won't come up is because this is not my listing. So if you slide over here where it says show only my listings, you would have that if you're using your listing. If you're looking at the office listings or someone else's listings, you're going to use all listings. And here it is right here. We're going to hit select. And the photo is going to automatically, the front elevation is going to automatically come up. It is whatever the default photo is in MLS as the primary photo. That's what's going to pull up there. This is what I like to call your worksheet screen. And this is where you're going to start inputting all of your information. Now, let's say that you've gotten in here and you decide you want to name it something other than what you named it. You can change it here. You can go in here and change the label title at that point in time. Okay, but I'm going to leave it the way it is. So I'm going to say save name and goal. Okay, so there's my address. The next part you're going to go to is add text. Okay, you're going to hit configure. And anywhere you see a red dot asterisk following a title means that criteria is mandatory. It will not process and publish if you don't put something in that area. As you make changes to all of these items, if you look over to the right, when we make the changes, it's going to appear on this right-hand part of the screen. That is what your ad is going to look like to the consumer. From running a lot of ads and testing ads, I'm going to tell you, do not use MLS verbiage in this main box. Your goal is to get people to respond and for you to get them to want more information. So in testing ads in Facebook, we found less is better. So what I typically put is something very simple at the beginning, which could be something as simple as, usually in caps, I'll put one of a kind home in Frisco. Then I'm going to say, oops, I messed up. Sorry, guys. It won't last long. Now, I will tell you the key here is this line right now that I'm going to tell you. It's click the I'm not a fast typer, sorry guys. Click the learn more button below for location, price, and more picks, period. Okay, so that's your main verbiage. You'll go down here and you'll see the headline. And in the headline, I'm going to go on and put, what do I want to put here? I'm going to repeat, but not necessarily in caps, but you can click we're going to repeat the click the learn more button for more information. And if I make mistakes, well, we'll all know what I mean. And you can either repeat what you said above exactly, but for example purposes, I'm just going to put button for more information, okay? So that's it. Again, less is better. I always use the learn more button, and a little further down, I'll show you other options that you have. Okay. So we're going to scroll through here, and I'm going to say right now, I like everything it says, but oops, I've got another asterisk here. I'm going to be real transparent here, guys. I have never seen anything I've typed in this box show up on any ad. So I'm not sure why it's in there. When you do it through Facebook, it's not something we have to do, but in this scenario we do. So what I've been doing is putting maybe a little bit of the description from MLS in this box. Or maybe you could say 5-bedroom home with gorgeous backyard. Now, if somebody sees that, I haven't seen it yet, but do you know the reason for that?
That might show on the right side, you're looking at the desktop.
Oh, it did. Oh, the desktop version. That's what it is.
Might show up when people are looking on there.
It's not going to show up on the mobile, I bet.
I think that's what it is.
Okay, there. I have a smarter person in here than me for sure, and younger. So there you go. Okay, so see back up here at the top, we're looking. Let me drop down here, guys. You have a choice here if you want to see what it looks like on the web or you want to see what it's going to look like on somebody's mobile. It showed up there too. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, but you're right.
I don't see it on the ads. Okay, so at least now we see how to see it both ways. I typically keep it on the web when I'm making it. That's a personal, oops, misspelled that, didn't I? There you go. No, I didn't. I just knew that in there. Okay, so the other, I hate that everybody's not here and y'all can't engage. Okay, it's really weird. Now, one of the keys here y'all want to make sure you don't forget to do is save, 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 save. So after each section, always save. If you have to get up and leave your desk to go do something, hit save, because you're going to be real disappointed. You come back, your computer did something weird and it's gone and you have to start all over. Okay, next box, add media. Okay, it's already got the image in there, but let's say you have 3 more photos or 2 more photos or a backyard photo. And I will tell you, backyard photos are huge right now. We're getting great responses to backyard photos, golf course backyard photos, pool photos. I guess it's because everybody's staying home. So keep that in mind. But you can have multiple photos here, and then it will give you more of a gallery effect. In talking with some people, they're saying they get better responses with multiple photos than single photos. So again, that would be something you might want to test. You might want to take one listing you have and just do a singular photo, and maybe you've got another photo that's got a really awesome kitchen or a really awesome backyard, and on that one maybe you do 2 or 3 photos and just compare. You can run the same property as 2 separate ads, one with single pictures and one with a single picture and one with multiple pictures. And then you can see which one gets the best response. And we'll kind of go over that when we duplicate. Okay, here you have to have your DBA logo. If you don't, you'll have to upload one into this location. You have the option of whether you want your logo to go on the right or the left. I typically keep mine on the right. And that's going to show up on your ad. I don't know why it's not showing up here, but it will. Okay, include your ownership statement. Let's see. You have to use that. Yes, you have to use that. It's got a red one, so you want to click that. Now we're going to save ad media. Okay. Now you're going to go to Facebook ad channel options here. And you're going to hit configure. And this is why you need a business page, because it's going to come up as your Facebook general page. And then if you'll go over here, this is where you select what page you want this to show up as. So mine's going to be under Helen is Selling. So there we go. So click your business page there. If you don't have one, set one up. The next thing is destination. This is set for whether you want your lead to go to the lead gen form or you want it to go to a specific site or landing page. I use the lead gen, Facebook lead gen, because I want it to come to me in that manner, and then that way I have a reason to reach out to those people. I don't want to give them too much information too quickly. I know there are some people who have run some ads and they put the landing page for their particular property, but then that lead has all the information. What reason do you have to engage with them? So this is all about engagement as far as I'm concerned. Engaging with the lead and then determining what their need is. Is it immediate or is it future? Do I need to act now or do I need to nurture them? Okay, so now you are going to have a follow-up destination URL. I use my website here. So which is what I would recommend you do. Now I'm going to show you something that is going to give you an error. I am waiting for a response from Scott Leroy on this issue. I don't know the answer. So it'll be interesting to see what you all come up with, and you can text me and tell me, did this work or not? This is my preferred website, but it won't work with my Facebook ads. But if I go in and I change this to my website that is in command, it works. I don't know the reason for this. I'm working on it. Everyone try whatever their website is. If you are having a problem with that, send me a text and say, my destination URL does not work, so that I know you're one of the people I need to get back to when I get a response as to why this is happening. So I just went on and used the one that works. Sorry, I don't have an answer yet. I sent out a request for help with this yesterday, and I guess they're busy, so I was hoping I'd have it for you all. Okay, ad targeting. You are all going to use always custom settings here. You're paying for this ad. You're trying to get new leads, I would assume. So I always do a custom audience. You could target your database if you wanted to. I don't know that that would be a good use of this money you're spending or going to spend. So that's a personal choice, but I always use custom audiences. In a custom audience, you're obviously going to want it to be an audience within the United States. And my listing is in Frisco, Texas, so I'm going to put Frisco, Texas here. I'll show you an example of some other ads in a moment that you may put Dallas, you may put Plano, you may put Richardson, depending on what the ad is you're running. The radius here is how far out the ad is going to go to grasp potential leads. I typically keep mine at 15. A 15-mile radius of whatever the property is that I'm marketing. If it's a generic ad, say, for people who might be interested in golf course lots, so therefore I don't have an address and I'm doing everything in Plano, I may bump that to 20 or 25 so that it picks up the surrounding areas a little further out. And that, again, you can test that. 15 miles seems to be, 15 to 20 seems to be the sweet spot there, just from testing these ads. Okay, the next part I'm going to show you is pretty cool, but it's also dangerous. And that is expert targeting. And the reason I say it's dangerous is I think it can limit you too much sometimes. So be careful here. Let's just say I'm running an ad on a listing like we are, and I want to target people who have been on Zillow because I feel like they are in the market for a home. So you would click Zillow and you would save. Facebook will go out there and it will find those people who've been on Zillow to show your ad. And if you look over here to the side, it gives you the estimated audience that you could potentially have just based on people who've been on Zillow. It's pretty amazing. That, I think, is a great tool when you're marketing a listing. Not so much when you're running what I call creative generic ads. I'm going to also show you another tool here. If you'll click on this interests right here, if you're running an ad, you can select any of these categories that you think might target a potential lead that would be what you're looking for. But the one that I've used the most in this list, and I'm not going to probably go all the way down to it, but there is a first-time buyer one. So depending on where the house is or what your ad says, that might not be one that you might not want to test at some point in time with an ad and just see what kind of response you have. You definitely, if you were targeting the rental market for looking for first-time home buyers, that might be something you want to use. So I hope that kind of clears that up. But be careful here because the more you put in here, it doesn't necessarily put you out there in a wider web. It just kind of muddies the water. So I'd just be real careful and definitely test different ways and find out what works for you. Be sure you save your Facebook ad at that point in time. Now we got to talk money because you got to pay for this. Sorry. So now you're going to go to duration and budget. And this is where you're deciding how long do I want this ad to run? How much do I want to spend? Keep in mind, at any point that this ad is running, you can turn it off. So let's say you decide you're going to run an ad for 10 days or 7 days or whatever it is, and you come up with your dollar amount. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to run this for 10 days and I'm going to, and I typically run my ads at $10 a day. That seems to have been what's worked. I know there are some agents that go with $5 a day. Please disregard this line up here that says $1 a day. You can do it, but you're not going to get the response you're going to be happy with. So I'm going to say I'm running it for 10 days at $10 a day. So I know that's $100. So this ad, I'm willing to spend $100. Oh no.
Oh, pause.
What happened here?
Pull Zoom back up. Click on Zoom.
Where did it go?
Down at the bottom. Oh, by the
Right
top
here,
right.
right here. Oh gosh.
Wait, hold. No.
No.
Maybe try clicking at the top where you see that yellow thing across the screen. Click on that. Hit resume share. It's the green button. Yeah.
Okay, are y'all back? I hope so. Oh, we don't know what happened. Okay. I'm going to say I'm doing, it won't let you put the dollar in there. I hate that, but okay, let's just for practical purpose say I'm sending $52 a day and I'm going to jump this down and I'm going to run it less time. Okay. So I'm spending $8.67 a day, but I've told y'all I typically do $10 a day. This is where you would save what you're spending and how long you want the ad to run. Okay, I have found that when you set this up, and let's say we hit today to start the ad, it's not going to start running till tomorrow. There is some lag time because they have to approve it, and you're going through command. So there's a little bit of a delay. So just because, you know, I guess, let's see, let me look at the calendar here. It should start running according to this tomorrow. So it's giving you the accurate date. So they have fixed that. A while back, it would show today. So good, okay, we'll double check that. So now we're gonna do save duration and budget. Okay, I know y'all are just dying to ask me a question. Okay, all right, you have finished your ad. So now I want to point out to you, though, you can go back and review any of these sections, change anything you want. Let's just say I want to go back here to add text. I changed my mind about, I looked at my ad, I looked over here, I said, I don't like what that looks like. I want that to be capitalized. You can toggle back and forth through these categories and change things before you finalize, okay? But once you've decided everything's saved and you looked over here, you're happy with it, you're going to publish the campaign. Let's say you're working on this and you have to go show a house, or you've got a screaming kid, or you just don't know what you want to do next, which that happens sometimes. You can also save it as a draft, okay, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to say, yes, I want to save it as a draft. So I can come back to it later on and finish it, change it, whatever. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to some of my ads, and I'm going to show you a few things that I think will be helpful. I hope they will be. When you go to your paid ads, every ad you've run is going to show up, okay? I take that back. I'm going to clarify that. The last 30 days. If you want to do that, you can go further back, but I've got this set for the last 30 days, okay? I'm going to pull up an ad to show you a trick that's important to know. Let's see here, bear with me. Okay, let's go to, I don't want to look at a duplicate yet because that'll confuse you. Okay, let's look at wishing for a pool in Plano. It's not the one I want. Yes, that's the one I want. Okay, this is what I call a generic creative ad. Now, I have to go over here on these three dots. I'll go on and show you. If you want to stop a campaign, this is where you stop it. You archive it, okay? If you want to, we're going to take this ad and I'm going to duplicate it. So let's say I run an ad for pools or golf courses, and I want to run it for multiple areas, say Richardson, Dallas, Plano, Frisco. So I'm going to run the same ad, same photo, 4 different target markets. You can just duplicate the ad, edit it, and run it. So when I say edit it, this is a couple of things I learned the hard way. Go back here and hit duplicate, customize. So you're taking an ad you already have, and I'm going to be able to show you multiple pictures here too. And you're going to